Hello, this is my marketing midterm by Tobon-Perez. The company I'm talking about is Suit Supply. Suit Supply was founded in 2000 in the Netherlands by Folk de Jong. His mission statement for the company was he wanted to serve men who function in the corporate system but don't want to surrender to it. And what he meant by that is he wanted to make suits for men who wanted to get into the professional setting where they got to wear suits every day but didn't want to get lost or fall in the background of it. And what that basically means is he wanted to make suits for men who wanted to stand out and have a bit of flash and style to themselves. Some of the core values for his company is he wanted ethical work laws. And this is pretty big because he makes a lot of his suits in China. And he wanted to make sure that they used fair labor rules and his workers were being treated well. Another big thing is sustainability, and that makes sense because his company is based in the Netherlands, where sustainability is big in their culture, and he wanted to be able to resource the materials he used sustainably. His target market is young men, and he's noticed a few changes in trends throughout the years. When he first started the company, he wanted to market to young men who wanted to look professional and wear suits. Well, a little bit later in the decade, about the early 2010s, that's when he noticed his first change where men started to be a little more hypersexual, and he changed his advertising style based on that. And in recent years, there's been another minor change where men are focusing on looking good, looking fit, and looking handsome. And also because we're a more progressive society, he wanted to focus on homosexuality in his marketing techniques. Some of the strengths of his company is he uses high quality materials and he makes high quality products. But his suits are also pretty low cost, especially when you compare them to his competitors, such as Armani. And because of this, he's developed a really strong reputation. Another good benefit and strength that he has is really good relationships with his suppliers. I believe right now he only uses materials from one mill in Italy where they make really high quality fabrics. He also has good relationships with his labor in China. And he also has a lot of locations worldwide. Some of the weaknesses that Suit Supply faces is negative media coverage, and this is because of their sexual advertising. A lot of the times they get called misogynistic, or people say that they don't respect women, they objectify women, and that's because of a lot of the advertising techniques they use in their pictures that they use. Another weakness is dependence on brick and mortar stores, and we saw this during COVID when Suit Supply lost a lot of revenue because they had to close a lot of their stores because of COVID, the pandemic. And another weakness is they focus a lot on a niche product, that being luxury fashion. And this is a weakness because they lose a lot of potential revenue on expanding their products and going into other types of fashion. An opportunity for Suit Supply is they could do more collaborations with celebrities, and they tried this before with the Dutch national team for the Olympics. And they saw a lot of success with this because they helped sponsor their team and they provided them with the clothing, and this brought a lot of brand recognition to Suit Supply. Another thing that they could take advantage of is making custom suits or bespoke suits. This is a really good opportunity because it opens another door for them and brings in more customers potentially. And another good opportunity is focusing more on their online presence, online stores. And this is a big one, especially because of their last weakness during COVID, because they rely a lot on brick and mortar stores. So a little more focus on online stores would also be a great opportunity for them. One of the biggest threats that Suit Supply faces is regulation changes with China. All of their suits are made in China, and if there's ever changes to regulation or import laws with China, that could really hurt Suit Supply because they wouldn't be able to make suits as cheap as they can, and they would be forced to raise prices, which would be pretty bad for them. Another big thing is recessions. If people lose their jobs and they don't have as much money, they're probably not going to buy as many suits, because suits are a luxury item, and luxury items are normally the first thing that get cut out from people's budgets during recessions. And another threat is competition. There's a lot of competitors in the suit industry, such as Indochina, Brooks Brothers, or Spear and Mackay. And a lot of those companies have actually copied Suit Supply's techniques, trying to use high quality materials from Italy and then using cheap labor in China to build their suits. So there's a lot of companies also copying Suit Supply's techniques. For their market segmentation, obviously they wanted to get into the clothing industry, and then they want to get a little more generic by going into men's fashion. And what specifically in men's fashion did they want to do? Well, they wanted to do dress wear. That's why they're called Suit Supply. And with this big focus, they were able to create a bunch of sub-markets. So they make professional suits, your normal gray or black suits, but they also make casual or flashy suits. And they have a bunch of different sub-markets under their company. For the product breakdown, the biggest thing is suits. But what if you don't want to wear a suit? Well, they also have casual wear, which is also high quality and luxurious. They make a lot of cashmere or silk polos or sweaters, and they also make a lot of accessories for the suits, such as the ties or the belts or the cufflinks. As for Suit Supply's branding and positioning, their target market is young men who want to wear suits. And how does Suit Supply stand out? Well, the big thing is their provocative marketing, especially with their Shameless campaign back in about 2010, where they had their models wearing their suits and they were sexualizing women. This brought a lot of controversy to Suit Supply and a lot of attention to them, because there's a lot of outrage that Suit Supply was objectifying women. A lot of the women in their photos weren't wearing clothes, while the men were completely suited up. And this brought a lot of attention to them. But not all of this attention was bad. As much as people were complaining, it also brought a lot of eyes from their target market, young men. And seeing all these pictures of men with attractive women, it really brought good attention to Suit Supply in that regard. Another thing that Suit Supply does well is their in-house tailoring, and this could be called their purple cow, because not a lot of suit companies do in-house tailoring, and Suit Supply did. They were one of the first ones, and this really helped them a lot, standing out, because people could get their alterations done in shop and go home the same day with a suit that fits really well. As for their pricing strategy, Suit Supply is a narrow market with high cost. They sell really high quality clothes that are priced pretty high. It's not something that you would buy every single day. But when you consider the market, their suits are pretty affordable, especially when right now they start at $500, which is a bargain considering the quality of their suits. And their custom suits begin at $673. And Suit Supply can be compared with high-end brands such as Valentino or Armani, and their suits cost at least $2,000. So Suit Supply is doing really well with their pricing strategy. And how they do that is they get their materials from Italy, from a well-known mill that produces really good fabric, and they make all their suits in China. And that's how they're able to keep their prices down. For the distribution channels, Suit Supply is a business to consumer with no middlemen, and they're also starting to become a click and mortar because they have physical stores and they also have online stores. And if what they have doesn't fit in store, the tailor's right there. They'll take all your measurements and they'll put them in their online system, and that's how they buy the suits. They send the measurements to their producers in China, and they make the suits so they fit you perfectly, and they're shipped straight home. No middleman involved at all. And these are all the sources that I use for this project. Thank you.